Our next storyteller, boy, Randy is the current 10-time recipient of the prestigious Brown University's Lower Level Storytelling and Humor, including Tall Tales Award. Or, known by its acronym, Bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, Randy Walters.
Must be a weak story. Okay, before I start, it's said an artist will do anything for his medium. Remember that, okay? Because I'm going to come back to that. But my story takes place in 1972. A few of you remember that, a few of you don't. 72 was when Pong, the first video game, was released. The Godfather was the #1 movie at the theater. Richard, I'm not a crook, was our president, Nixon. And airports, for the first time, all the major airports had metal scanners you had to walk through, and then they had those hand job, that's a different story, hand wands. And also, long hair for men was in. It was cool. I wasn't cool. I was 6 weeks out of Navy boot camp, and I was at core school, three-day weekend, and I wanted to go home and surprise my mom and dad, and spend some time with my long-haired friends that were in college. So I didn't have a car, so I had to fly. So it was my first airplane flight. And there was an incident that happened on the way there, on the way back, and something that occurred while I was home. One was incredibly embarrassing, one was extremely humiliating, and one was humiliating, embarrassing, and hysterically funny later on. So, with that background, I get to the airport, my first time ever flying, and all I had was a backpack and some laundry to take home and do. And when I checked in, the stewardess, they called them stewardesses then still, I think, she said, she could tell I was in the military because I was the only guy around with no hair. And she said, would you like to fly first class? And I'd never flown before, first class or any other class. So I said, does it cost more? And she goes, no, I'm going to put you in first class because you're a member of the military. How cool. So I'm 19 years old. So I'm in first class, and I don't know how to act. So I'm watching the other first class people, and I'm watching all the common people walk by me. And there was this one stewardess, and we made eye contact. And it was, every guy knows, you get that look, and the girls know you look someone in the eye for the first time, and there's a spark. There was something there, definitely. So I'm thinking, well, this is pretty cool. And I'm in my seat, and every time she would be somewhere and she'd look my way, I'd look at her, and we kind of both smile. And there was a connection there. And at that point, I'm pretty certain I met my wife. It's gonna be my wife. So, flight takes off, and she comes up to me, and she says, would you like a pillow? I said, sure. So she gets a pillow, and she takes her long, sinewy fingers, and tilts my head forward, and slides the pillow behind me. Would you like a blanket? Yeah. And she gets a blanket, and I tuck it up under my chin, and I'm comfortable, and I lay back a little bit, and I fell asleep, okay? Somewhere during the flight, something woke me up, and I'm sleeping like this. And I thought, I opened my eyes, and I saw her catty corner from me, talking to another passenger. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna keep my gaze directly at her. And when she looks at me, I'm gonna close this deal. I'm gonna wink at her, and just pick my head up like, how you doing? Okay? she looks at me, I look at her, I do the wink, I pick my head up. What I didn't realize was when I was like this, drool had come out of the left side of my mouth and attached itself to my shirt. And when I picked my head up, it flew up over my nose, onto my eyebrow. Now, in January, this lady back here, my wife Cindy, we were celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary. She was not the stewardess. So I get home, I knock on the door, my dad answers the door, and it's one of those classic, oh, I haven't seen you. It was a great reunion, spent all day with them. Well, that night, my buddies and I, we wanted to go out dancing. And it's a small town, you go the next town over to the American Legion, that's where everybody met and danced. And all three of my buddies were in college, all had long hair, and I had my short navy haircut. So they picked me up, we get to the nightclub, American Legion, and it was just like high school. All the guys were over here and all the girls were over there, and they're not really mingling or anything. And I'm thinking, these are kids, I'm a man now, I'm in the Navy, and there was 4 girls sitting at a table, and it's 4 of us. So I said, why don't we go over and talk to those girls? And they said, you go. Okay, I'm the man. So I walked up and I said 2 words that I've never repeated since, and I don't recommend any man ever uses words. These 2 words would mean a girl. I walked up to him and I said, what's happening? And the one girl looked at me and said, certainly not you. Yeah, that was it. So I had to turn away from them, take the walk of shame back to my buddies, and tell them that I struck out 4 times. So we left, went to the Winkies, which is like a McDonald's, and had burgers, and I was home in bed by 10. And the next day, with my parents, and I'm getting ready to fly home. Now, I'm upstairs, I'm packing my bag, I did my laundry the night before, and because I did my own laundry now, I'm in the Navy. And my mom, God bless her, she comes running upstairs, honey, and I said, what? And she's got this rolled up pair of wet, recently spun-dried underwear, my underwear. She says, you must have left this in the washer when I washed mine. I went to put it in the dryer, your underwear was with them. What do you want to do with them? Most normal people would have said, leave them, get them next time I'm home, throw them away, anything but what I did. I had this bag, and it was like this bag here, and it had, you have to visualize this, Planters peanuts. It had a big plastic peanut, and it was full of peanuts. Well, this was empty, and I kept it because I thought, I'll use it sometime. Well, I had a buddy that was, for some reason, into peanuts, I can't remember why, and I was going to take it back to him. Okay, so that's what's in this bag. Okay, pretend it's in this bag. It's like a football, but pretend it's a plastic peanut. And my thought was, I'll take the plastic peanut up, open it up, I put the wet underwear in the plastic, and put the back on. It's not going to hurt anything. Back then, you could take anything on the airplane. So I say goodbye to my mom and dad and take them to the airport. And then, oops. Now, in the Navy, you get what they call a foul weather coat. It's a raincoat. So pretend this is dark gray and solid. It was the coolest coat ever. And it was raining that day, and it was going to be raining when I got back to Chicago. The reason I like it is like a flashy coat. That's not why I like it, but I'm just saying. It's another story. What am I keep doing?
Yeah, I know. There's a button up there.
Oh, there you go. I won't touch it again, I promise. So, I go to the airport, and I've got this bag, and checking through is a little less stressful than it is today. But still, you had to put your stuff up on the counter, and I went through the thing, and nothing happened, and then the guy says, who owns this? Come over here. I come over. He picks the peanut out of the bag, and you can tell something's in it, and he's shaking it. And he says to me, what's in here? I said, a pair of wet underwear. And he says, if you're not going to tell me, I'm going to have to look. I said, it's a pair of underwear. Takes it, reaches in, and pulls it out. I got people lined up here that are watching to see what's in the peanut. And he takes it, and he looks at it, and he shakes it, and it kind of unfolds, and he throws it back in, closes it up, drops it in, and says, go ahead. So I'm at the gate now, and several people I noticed at the gate were the ones that were behind me. So they know I got what underwear in my peanut. It's not going to be a big problem, because I'll never see these people again. But then, an employee comes over and says, folks, there has been an incident on the tarmac. You cannot leave from this gate or this area. I'm going to take you over collectively in a group in about 10 minutes. Stay together, and we'll get through security very quick. Well, I'm not going to have my peanut underwear situation again. So I went to the restroom, took the underwear out of the peanut, put them in the pocket of my jacket. I'm ready to go. So they march us on over there. And the guy doesn't have any problem with the peanut. He looks at it, but it's not heavy. There's nothing in it. And I go through the thing, and it bing, 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 bing. Well, everybody's watching now. This is the guy they shut down before with the underwear. Now what's going on? So they come up with the wand, and it starts going off. And he says, sir, did you empty your pockets? And I said, yes, but I had my pair of keys in my pocket, and that's what set it off, because normally I'd put the keys on the thing, and I forgot to put them in my pervert coat. So I pulled the keys out, and I showed him, here's my keys. And he says, sir, I can see there's something else in that pocket. I said, it's not metal. Take it out so he can see it. So now, these people have seen me with 2 pairs of my underwear. I'm the only one that knows it's the same one pair, like that matter. And, so, the only beautiful thing about this was, when I got on the airplane, well, I wasn't in first class this time, but there were 3 seats here and 3 seats there, and I had all seats ready. Now, going back to my opening where I said an artist would do anything for his medium, it's true. Because I guess today I'm an artist, and my medium today is storytelling. I went to Goodwill, because I didn't have any white underwear like this. And I'd been to Goodwills before, and I've always seen underwear on a little hanger. I thought, who the hell buys underwear at Goodwill? So when I went and I bought it, but I called my wife. I said, I gotta believe it, I'm in Goodwill buying underwear. And she said, good luck. But when I walked up to pay for it, I wanted to go to a checkout where there was nobody else there. I could just give it to them real quick, pay to go. But they were all had bunches of stuff. So I didn't want to just buy a 99-cent pair of underwear. And I wanted to make sure the guy knew I was not going to wear them. It was important for me that he knows I was not buying these to wear. But then I thought, well, that's even weirder, because where'd you buy them? Why did you buy them? Anyway, that's my story.